Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. On this week's episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about the plans that we're doing to this Montana because I'm doing a lot of stuff all at the same time. I'm going to break them up into separate videos, so let's show you what's coming ahead. Remember, if you want to learn more and make less mistakes while RVing, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like and a comment down below. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. First things first, just because of the overall size and capacity of the amount of stuff I'm doing, it's going to be really difficult to record, say, one video that's meant just for this one particular thing because I'm doing so many things all at once. So I'm going to do my best when I go to edit this stuff together to best suit you guys so you can still learn something and know what's going on. But let me just kind of show you what we got going on here. Down here in the basement, I've already started to take the wall down and apart because back there is going to be some major electrical stuff. We got the Pro Aqua water softener going in. I figured I'd pop over to this side so you guys get a better view of everything. So again, behind this wall, there's a lot of space back there, and the overall idea is I'm going to try and fit as much of my electronics back there as possible, but it is a very tight space to work in with a lot of wires in the way, so we'll see how that actually goes. The stuff that's actually happening in here, okay, we're going to be doing two Victron Quattro 48 volt 5,000 watt systems. So I'm going to have two Quattros, dual Quattros, so I have 240 volts to this thing at all times. We'll talk about that when I go to do that video. There's going to be a lot of stuff with Victron, Lynx distribution system. I'm reusing the same batteries I had in the Big Country before, which is those Valence U27 12XP batteries. Those are 138 amp hours a piece. I'm doing a 48 volt system, so that means there's going to be two sets of 4 or 8 batteries total. It's almost 15,000 watts worth of storage. Let's see, 3 different solar charge controllers because up top I'm doing over 5,000 watts of solar. I'm doing a row of 6, a row of 6, and a row of 5. The 2 rows of 6 are 360 watt panels, and the row of 5 are 160 watt panels, totaling just over 5,000 watts of solar in total. And each one of those rows is going to be a series parallel combo that's going to go to its own individual charge controller, so it's 3 charge controllers. Then going from the 48 volt system back down to 12 volt to feed the entire DC system of the Montana is going to be 3 Victron Orion DC to DC converters that go from 48 volt down to 12 volt. Believe it or not, this is only about half of the Victron stuff because obviously this is just one Quattro. The other Quattro actually comes in today. This is the Lynx distribution system. I have my 3 MPPT charge controllers, but there's still, again, the other Quattro coming, as well as the 3 Orion DC to DC chargers / power supplies. That's all coming today. I got the Serbo right there. Just tons and tons of blue stuff going in this Montana. Of course, there's also going to still be the Victron Serbo GX and touch controller. I'm using the Victron Lynx Shunt as my battery monitor. I'm not doing a BMV on this. We have the generator is on its way. That should be here later this week. I'm putting in an Onan 3.6 kW LP propane generator. I did that because when I got this RV, you have the option to add a generator, but it's the 5 kilowatt or 5.5 kW generator. Well, all I am ever going to need the generator for is to recharge my batteries because everything is going to be running off of the Victron equipment through the batteries and all that stuff. It's all going to get fed through. So really all I need the generator for is to recharge that system. So 3,600 watts or 3.6 kW as a generator is more than all I need. All I really need is like 3.2 or 3.3 to be recharging those batteries because the Quattro, it's a 70 amp charger, blah, blah, blah. Won't talk about that right now. But that's why I did that. I wanted a smaller generator because it's a little bit lighter weight and it's a little bit more fuel efficient than the bigger generator, right? So that's why I'm doing that. Let me think what else we got going on. A bunch of little tiny projects. Okay, so like right now I'm about to install a new smart lock on there. So I'm going to do a video right now just for that. But there's just so much stuff. Washer dryer. I'm putting a residential washer dryer in this system. Again, with the dual Quattros and the 240 volt output all the time, I'm putting in a residential dryer that runs off of 240 volts. Just like I'm also going to be installing a mini split in this system, or in this unit, with a ducted air handler, which we'll talk about that on its own video. But that is also 240 volts, and that's why I'm doing this dual Quattro setup, because it's the only way I can maintain 240 volts both on grid and off grid all the time, 24/7. So inside for the washer dryer, this is where they go. In my original video, you probably saw where there's a shelf here. I already took that shelf out. It's just a couple screws that holds it in place. I have not taken out this middle shelf yet that goes in between the washer dryer situation, just because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do this stacking washer dryer and save a little bit of height in total, or how it's going to look, or if I'm just going to put a washer on the bottom, a dryer on top. So I haven't done that yet. But what I did do is that shelf that was in there, I thought, hey, I can reuse some of this material. So in this cabinet here, we only had, there's a one really tall space here. And you kind of have a lot of dead space up top. You can fit some taller things in there, but it's a really big cabinet. So I reused that shelf that was in there and put it in there, so it looks normal, because this is all the same color that's throughout the whole RV. So that's what I did with that. And I still have that other shelf, and also some other material from that shelf, because it's a little bit smaller. And so I can do that kind of stuff throughout the RV if we so choose to want to make a little extra shelf here, or say the pantry has one shelf too many, or one shelf that is too tall and have a lot of dead space, I can add another shelf up there. Back to the battery bank system. So what I'm going to be doing is basically 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to make a 48 volt battery, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to make a 48 volt battery. So I'm taking the positive to the negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, so that I have a positive on one end, negative on the other. That's going to make 48 volts. Same thing over here for a second set, and then those are both going to go parallel to the Lynx power in side of things, and that's going to be providing my 48 volt system through the Lynx and everything like that. Let me talk again about the overall plan for the solar. So again, I'm doing a little over 5,000 watts of solar. Okay, and basically what I'm doing is a set of 6 straight down the side on both sides of 360 watt panels. And we'll show you guys the layout whenever that actually time comes. But I'm basically gonna be doing 3 in series and 3 in series, and then 2 of them in parallel. And that's gonna keep my voltage real high, and then be able to use smaller wires coming down from the roof down into the solar charge controller. So I'm doing that twice, because I'm doing 12 of those panels total, 6 on this side, 6 on the other. And then down the middle of the RV is gonna be 5 160 watt panels. And the reason I'm doing those is because they would fit in between my 360 watt panels, and I have them they're gonna be spaced in between the air conditioners, the vent fans, stuff like that. And those 5 are all just gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in series to have real nice high voltage, and they'll charge sooner. Again, we'll talk about the layout whenever that actually comes time to and getting up there, because that's gonna be its own situation. But just so you guys know, because you might be thinking to yourself right now, how are you fitting that many panels up there? Well, they are going to overhang, okay? The total width of all 3 of those panels together is 108 inches. The RV is only 98 inches, I think, or 96. I can't remember. I think it's 98 because I measured it the other day. And what I realized is it's going to overhang 5 inches. And I was like, man, 5 inches, that seems like a lot. Well, then I got up there and I measured the awning. And the awning overhangs on the edge, the worst part that overhangs, the little control arm up in that top corner, it overhangs 5 inches. So it's just like having an awning on both sides of your RV, which some people have. You have your slide toppers on one side, the awning on the other. So realistically, that 5-inch overhang up at the top isn't going to create an issue, because it's just as if you had an awning up there anyways. Of course, I'm going to have to be looking whenever I'm getting in some tight areas, but if I'm ever so close that 5 inches is all I have between the body of my RV and something from hitting it, I'm going to be trying to get out of that situation as soon as possible anyways. So I'm not too concerned about it. There's also still a ton of other smaller, we'll call them smaller projects. Okay, not my major electrical upgrade that I'm doing, because I'm basically just redoing, the entire electrical system of this thing so that I have 240 volts constantly. But I'm also replacing the hitch, which you can see is already done. but you'll see that video coming out soon of the installing the Reese Goosebox. I'm also doing a RV lock door, you know, with a little code, putting one of those on. I already did the snap pads. I already did the EMS device, but I am going to be redoing the EMS when I redo all the electrical, because all that is going to have to be in sync. And I think that's really about it. So brief overview, you know, the dual Quattro setup, the 5,000 watts of solar, the big battery bank, residential washer dryer, little projects like the replacing the hitch, you know, the Goosebox, the RV door lock, just little things like that. Little stuff inside that I'll show you guys. That's pretty much it. So stay tuned, there's a lot coming. If you like what you saw, make sure to drop a comment below. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time on Why Not RV. Bye.